Отже, починаємо. Доброго дня, шановні колеги. Сьогодні у нас 3 лютого 2023 року, 14 година за Києвом. Я перепрошую, технічні питання. Скажіть, будь ласка, запис увімкнено?
Так,
тобто,
так.
Дякую. Запис трансляції нашого засідання іде. Отже, дозвольте розпочати наше з вами засідання. Відповідно до рішення Вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету, яке затверджено наказом ректора номер 436К від 18 листопада 2022 року, у Сумському національному аграрному університеті утворено спеціалізовану вчену раду для проведення разового захисту дисертації у Лінь-Лінь на тему управління системою маркетингових комунікацій закладів вищої освіти у Китаї. Англійською мовою тема звучить Management of Marketing Communication System of Higher Education Institution in China. На здобуття ступеня доктора філософії у галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Рада затверджена у складі. Головуючий на засіданні Красноруський Олексій Олександрович, доктор економічних наук, професор кафедри менеджменту імені Любові Івановни Михайлової Сумського національного аграрного університету. Тобто я. Рецензенти. Сухань Інна Віталіївна, доктор економічних наук, професор кафедри економіки та підприємництва Сумського національного аграрного університету, тут присутня. Інна Віталіївна.
Да.
Гієнко Михайло Миколайович, кандидат економічних наук, професор, завідувач кафедри фінансів, банківської справи та страхування Сумського національного аграрного університету. Тут присутній Михайло Миколайович.
Так, як присутній.
Опоненти. Пташенко Олена Валеріївна, доктор економічних наук, професор кафедри міжнародних економічних відносин Харківського національного економічного університету імені Семена Кузнеця. Тут присутня Олена Валеріївна.
Доброго дня, я присутня.
І Ніфатова Олена Михайлівна, доктор економічних наук, професор-дослідник Університету Барселони, Іспанія. Тут присутня. Олена Михайлівна.
Доброго дня, так, я присутня.
Так, підтримую. Ну і, власне, у нас присутня наша здобувач. Посади членів спеціалізованої вченої ради вказані на дату захисту дисертаційної роботи. Отже, ми з вами реєструємося і згідно реєстраційної картки, з вашого дозволу, так, тобто я як голова ради підтверджую вашу присутність на цьому засіданні, про що є свідченням відеозапис, власне, і трансляція нашого засідання. Отже, згідно картки присутності, у нас присутня 5 членів ради, тобто кворум необхідний для проведення засідання є, і рішення сьогодні прийнято, воно буде правомочним. Тобто засідання спеціалізованої вченої ради оголошую відкритим. Сьогодні на порядку денного у нас з вами одне запитання, тобто це захист дисертації на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії, аспірантки кафедри маркетингу і логістики Сумського національного аграрного університету у Лінь-Лінь на тему управління системою маркетингових комунікацій закладів вищої освіти в Китаї за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент галузі знань, управління та адміністрування. Робота виконана у Сумському національному аграрному університеті, науковий керівник, доктор економічних наук, професор Данько Юрій Іванович, також присутній на нашому засіданні. До спеціалізованої вченої ради надійшли такі документи здобувача. Заява щодо проведення атестації, копія першої сторінки паспорта громадянина Китайської Народної Республіки у Лінь-Лінь, копія диплома магістра, витяг з наказу про зарахування до аспірантури, засвідченої в встановленому порядку, академічна довідка про виконання відповідної освітньо-наукової програми, висновок наукового керівника доктора економічних наук професора Данька, висновок про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дисертації, дисертацію у друкованому та електронному вигляді, відбитки копій наукових публікацій, зарахованих за темою дисертації, засвідчені у встановленому порядку. Усі документи відповідають встановленим вимогам. Дисертація до захисту подається вперше. Хто за запропонований порядок денний, прошу голосувати. Хто за? Чудово. Одноголосно. Проти утрималися немає, тобто пропозиція приймається. Дозвольте ознайомити спеціалізовану раду та присутніх з біографічними даними аспіранта. У Лінь-Лінь 1980 року народження, громадянка Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища. Закінчила у 2017 році Хенанський педагогічний університет в Китайській Народній Республіці за спеціальністю філософія, науки і техніки. Аспірантуру закінчила у 2022 році у Сумському національному аграрному університету Міністерства освіти і науки України, міста Суми. Дисертацію виконано у Сумському національному аграрному університеті Міністерства освіти і науки міста Суми. Тема дисертації затверджена 26 грудня 2018 року на засіданні Вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету, протокол номер 7 від 26 грудня 2018 року. Улінь завершила виконання освітньо-наукової програми у 2022 році. 5 серпня відбулася публічна презентація дисертаційного дослідження на кафедрі маркетингу та логістики за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент, де дисертацію було рекомендовано до розгляду та захисту у разовій спеціалізованій вченій раді. Основні положення та отримані наукові результати дисертаційної роботи висвітлено у 13 наукових працях, з них 3 наукові праці оприлюднено у фахових наукових виданнях, 2 наукові праці у наукових виданнях, включених до наукометричних баз Scopus та Web of Science. 8 наукових праць опубліковані в інших виданнях. Наукові публікації відповідають вимогам пункту 8.9 порядку присудження доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії. Постанова Кабінету міністрів України від 12 січня 2022 року номер 44. Дисертація відповідає вимогам наказу МОН номер 40 від 12.01.2017 року про затвердження вимог до оформлення дисертацій та порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої ради вченої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії згідно 44-ї постанови Кабміну. Чи є питання у членів спеціалізованої вченої ради?
Ні, немає.
Дякую. Дякую. Для викладу основних результатів дослідження слово надається аспірантці Улінь, і хочу відмітити, що із здобувачем погоджено, що захист дисертації буде проводитися англійською мовою. Тобто цю опцію у нас передбачає діючий порядок. So, to present the main results of research, what is given to graduate student Wu Linlin. Wu Linlin, you can start your report.
Okay, I will share my screen. Could you hear me? It's okay, everything is
Yes,
okay.
yes, everything okay. We hear you.
Okay, I will start my presentation. Good afternoon, professors. It is a great honor to have the opportunity to defend my thesis today. My dissertation topic is management of higher education institutions, marketing communication system in China. My presentation divides into 4 parts. The first part is about the background. In recent years, Chinese higher education institutions gradually began to learn from the concept of marketing communication divided from enterprises, pay more and more attention to brand building and communication, and achieved good results. For convenience, I will abbreviate higher education institutions as HEIS in the following report. Through brand building and management, HEIS can establish a good social image and improve their competitiveness. However, with the situation change, the construction of marketing communication in Chinese HEIS has begun facing significantly challenges. The first challenger is the competition in China's domestic higher education has intensified. On the one hand, under the market economic system, quality students pay fees to go to school and choose their jobs by themselves, which changes the national enrollment and employment system. On the other hand, the diversification of school running subjects and multi-channel funds alters how the government runs. In recent years, the number of private HEIS and enrolled students in private HEIS has been increasing, just like these 2 pictures show. So the competition for resources of excellent teachers, students, and social relations among Chinese HEIS has become fierce. The second challenger is China's domestic demand for higher education is expanding. With the transformation of Chinese higher education from elite to mass, the expenditure on higher education has increasingly become an essential part of people's daily consumption. Most families will weigh the pros and cons, budget input and output in higher education consumption, and seek the point of fit between personal needs and educational choices. Higher quality characteristics and good brand education is becoming scarce resources. To better provide educational services that meet the diversified needs of consumers, this is the problem that every university must consider. The third challenge is international higher quality higher education participate in competitions. After the popularization of higher education in Western countries, there has been a significantly surplus of higher education resources. They began to look overseas to compete in the global education market by studying abroad and cooperating in running schools. These are all required that Chinese kids be more open to the world and actively participate in international competitions. Therefore, in the face of such a new situation of fierce competition, Chinese kids must establish all effective marketing communication mechanism and strive for the best resources. However, the current marketing communication system in Chinese kids haven't adapted to environmental changes, and the related research is still in the preliminary exploration stage. So, our research aims to develop theoretical, methodical, and applied principles of management of the marketing communication system of HAZE to solve the problem, what I said. Around the aim of our research, we decomposed 8 main research tasks. Because of the time constraints, I will not introduce it in detail now. Our research object is the process of managing the marketing communication system in HAZE. The research subject is the scientific, theoretical, methodical, and practical foundation of marketing communication system management in HAZE of China. About our research methods, we had a dialectical understanding of the concept of the marketing communication system of economic relation subjects in scientific categories. We used theoretical generalization, analysis, and synthesis to the classification of factors affecting formation and use. We used decommutation to determine the components of the integral assessment. We used the formalization method to develop a management mechanism for the marketing communication system of HAZE. Based on the marketing mix concept, we used the method of scientific abstraction to determine the definition of marketing communications. With the help of change management, we provided for the development of organization support for strategy implementation. We also used the methods of literature analysis, questionnaire survey, empirical research, etc. We searched the relevant network literature, professional books, magazines, and periodicals, statisticians, and statistical yearbooks, and analyze, compile, and summarize as the basis of our study. Based on literature research, we put forward a theoretical model and research hypothesis, determined the scale, formed a questionnaire, and obtained the data through online questionnaire collection. Statistical software was used to analyze the collected data. The proposed theoretical model of the marketing communication effect in HAZE was empirically tested through descriptive statistics, reliability and validity test, and a structural equation model construction. About the scientific novelty of the obtained results, first, we proposed the scientific approach of integrating the marketing communication systems management into the practice of HAZE development with the subsequent formation of its brand. Then, based on centimetric analysis using site space, we used a methodical approach to literature mapping on integrated marketing communications. In addition, we categorical imperatives of management of marketing communication system, which is adapted to the uniqueness of the information environment of China and considers the activities of new media. And we use the scientific regulations for forming an effective marketing communication systems. About the practical significance of the obtained results, as you know, the practical significance of the obtained results lies in their further use by institutions of higher education and education management bodies of various levels. The practical and methodological recommendations proposed by us were implemented in the activities of the Sumin National Agro-University and the Henan Institute of Science and Technology. Employees of promotion departments used them to establish a communication system with the main stakeholders. The second part of my presentation is about the current process state. Firstly, we analyzed the state and dynamics of the marketing communication system in Chinese HAZE. The management system of marketing communication in Chinese HAZE generally consists of the leadership of the deputy secretary of the party committee of the school, the director of the propaganda department of the party committee, the primary responsibility of the news sender, the joint efforts of various secondary colleges and units, and the cooperation of the news agencies of students. The traditional marketing communication media in Chinese HAZE generally include school newspapers, campus radio, campus TV stations, student journals, campus networks, etc. Chinese HAZE new marketing communication media generally include WeChat, microblog, short video, just like TikTok, Kuaishou, WeChat, etc. The contents and channels of marketing communication information generally include news reports, event marketing, figure marketing, experience marketing, relationship marketing, and so on. Then we completed the empirical test on the effectiveness of marketing communication in HAZE. In this part, our research ideas are 4 steps, include literature review and model construction, research project design and data collection, selection of empirical methods and empirical tests. In the step of literature review and model construction, based on Lansdale's 5W communication theory and a great deal of literature, we determined the variables and measures such as information and attitude towards HAZE and construct an effect measurement model. The variables and measures include information richness, credibility, interesting, sharing, targeting, informing function, motivating function, and the attitude formation has recognition about HAZE, emotion about HAZE, and intention about HAZE. We proposed 31 hypotheses and 1 model to evaluate the effectiveness of marketing communication in HAZE, just like this picture shows. In the step of research project design and data collection, we first conducted the questionnaire and skill design. The questionnaire consists of 4 parts: the foreword of the questionnaire, the respondents' personal information, the public on the use and knowledge of marketing communication media, content, and higher education methods, and the respondents' perceptions of various variables in the effectiveness of higher education communication. Then we completed a questionnaire pretest. During this process, we selected a total of 60 respondents and conducted this pretest in general 2022 through a peer-to-peer personal social network. Table 1 shows the reliability statistics of the pretest. The results showed that the scale's reliability was satisfactory and qualified for further statistical data analysis. After this, we selected the research subjects and studied data collection. The questionnaire was released separately for 7 categories of people: high school students, university students, parents of high school students and university students, government agencies, teachers of Hayes, media reporters, state-owned enterprises, foreign enterprises, private enterprises, self-employed workers, and other professional workers, etc. A total of 1,261 valid questionnaires were recovered. About the empirical methods, we selected 3 kinds of methods. The first is descriptive statistic. The second is reliability and validity tests. Besides those, we also choose the structural equation model method to explain the positive influence relationship and correlation between variables of marketing communication effects in higher education. During the empirical test process, the first step is descriptive statistics. Table 2 shows that the sample is well represented and statistically valid. Figure 4, 5, and 6 show the knowledge and use of media, content, and methods of marketing communication of his by respondents. After being adjusted twice, we derived the new modified model and hypothesis. The new modified model is like figure 7. Based on the reliability analysis performed by Bartlett coefficient, combined reliability, employing factor analysis, confirmatory factor analysis, and validity analysis performed by average variance extracted. The reliability and validity of all variables measured in the model met the requirements and were suitable for subsequent validation of the overall model. We used Amos 26 analysis software to test models and ideas. We decomposed the testing model into 4 submodels. The effect of each variable on cognition, emotion, and intention about haze, and the level-by-level impact between the 3 variables of cognition, emotion, and intention about haze. We named these 4 submodels as Model 1, Model 2, Model 3, and Model 4. This table shows the study results of the hypothesis and test. Finally, we discussed the results. The research result shows that in marketing communication, the richness of information significantly influences the formation of users' cognition and emotions about haze, but the public's intention about haze is not significant. Information credibility has a significant influence on the formation of public emotions about haze, and has no significant influence on the cognition and intention of haze. Information interesting and sharing have both no significant effect on the public's cognition and emotion about haze, and have a significant effect on the intention of haze. The function of information significantly influences the formation of users' cognition, emotion, and intention about the chosen haze. There is a step-by-step positive relationship between the public's cognition, emotion, and intention of haze. Then we summarized the 8 problems in the construction and management of marketing communication in Chinese haze, just as this slide shows. The third part of my presentation is about solutions and measures. To solve the above problems, we have given the corresponding solutions to the issues in the construction and the management of the marketing communication system of Chinese Haze, and indicated the relationship between the answers and the problems by connecting lines, just like this picture shows. The proposal provided a guiding direction for the construction and management of the marketing communication system of Chinese Haze. We developed the overall framework of marketing communication strategy formulation for Chinese Haze. Figure 12 describes the design process of Chinese Haze marketing communication strategy. We propose that implementing Haze marketing communication strategy should include 3 steps, just as figure 13 shows. The first step is to carry out the market analysis and implemented scientific strategies. The second step is to implement a particular plan or particular strategy. It is necessary to design the content of communication information, choose the mode of communication, and integrate the media. The last step is that the communication effect should be monitored and feedback. The fourth part of my presentation is about our achievement. The main results of scientific research were published in 13 scientific articles, 3 articles in specialized publications of Ukraine, 2 articles in journals included in the Scientometric databases Scope and Web of Science, the rest in other journals and conference proceedings. Finally, I would like to thank my dear supervisor, Yuri Danko. His selfless help and guidance allowed me to complete and defend my dissertation in such a difficult situation. And I would like to thank the Defense Committee members for all your hard work. Sincere thanks to you all. And I would like to thank my classmates Cui Zhenkun, Tao Ye, and Chen Fuli, who all gave me essential help completing my dissertation. Thank you guys very much. That's my presentation all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wen. The report, scientific report is complete. Please, ask your questions.
Can I start?
Hopefully, Sakhan Inna Vitalyevna, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you. Ulin Lin, nice to meet you. And I would like to say that your presentation was wonderful. So I have 2 questions to you. The first question is, please briefly tell us, why did you choose like the object of your research, the process of managing the marketing communication system in institution of higher education? Do you have any research foundation or research advantages in this field?
Okay, thank you for your question, Professor. I think I chose this research object maybe for the following reasons. Firstly, because at present, Chinese Haze are facing fierce competition. The competition comes from not only domestic, but also foreign Haze. By strengthening the construction and management of marketing communication stations, system in Haze, we can help them establish their brand better and improve their competitiveness, win social resources, and promote their development. And secondly, I have worked in the propaganda department of Henan Institute of Science and Technology for 11 years. I have a calculated rich experience in branding, building, and marketing communication in Haze. And I have carried out some research topics around this field. So I think this have laid a solid foundation for me to carry out my research. Thirdly, after I came to study at Sumy National Agro-University, I also got the strong support of my colleagues from this university, I think. I also participated in the related topics of the promotion office and the Department of Marketing and Logistics, which strongly supported my research, I think. That's all my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I satisfied, but I have one more question, if it's possible.
Okay.
Please briefly describe us the tasks of your research.
Okay. As I mentioned in my presentation, our research aims to develop theoretical, methodical, and applied principles of management of the marketing communication systems. Our main research tasks, I think, include 8 points. Just like to investigate the marketing communication system as an object of management in the economy, like to analyze the current trends of marketing communication in HAZE, and to justify the methodical basis of evaluating the effectiveness of the marketing communication management, and to analyze the state and dynamics of the developing of marketing communication system in Chinese universities, like to monitor the universities' marketing communication systems, to propose ways to improving the marketing communication system. Just like this, I think we focus on maybe 8 tasks to do all my work. That's all my answer. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yulian. Professor Sakhan, are you satisfied with the answers of?
Absolutely. I am absolutely satisfied. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Gienko Mikhail Nikolaevich, professor, please.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for presentation. I also have 2 questions. First of them, your research mentioned the application of new media in higher education institution. Could you describe the use of new media for publicity in China's higher education institution? And what are the benefits of new media marketing for college publicity? Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. Thank you for your question. According to our research, because of new media's development momentum and application characteristics, I think Chinese universities have begun to use new media for marketing generally and have started to attach importance to the role of new media marketing in university brand construction. But when some universities use new media for publicity, they are not, I think, they are not systematic and challenging to integrate with the traditional media. As you know, traditional media marketing is more of one-way information dissemination by universities to public. New media marketing has natural advantages such as timeliness, fun, and etc. And more modern young people like it. I think new media marketing can compensate for the lack of universities in traditional media marketing. Therefore, I believe that Chinese HAZE should pay more and more attention to the role of new media marketing, give full play to its advantages, and achieve the effect of communication. I think that's all my answer. Thank you.
Thanks. I satisfied with the answer. And second questions. Your research combined the research of European, American, and China scholarship on marketing communication, but the research of Ukraine scholars is not mentioned. How do you consider it? Thanks.
About this question, I think just because the United States, I think, is the original country of marketing communication, and American scholars made the most significant contributions to the development of marketing communication theory. And I think I have natural advantages to collect research on Chinese scholars. Therefore, I sought out the study of American and Chinese scholars on this field from a theoretical basis, and I collected articles on marketing communication published by Ukrainian scholars just in English, because their language constraints, academic papers published in Ukrainian are rarely involved. So I think this is also some definition in my research results. So I think it will be strengthened in the process of my further research, I think. Thank you for your guidance. That's all.
Okay, thank you for the answer. I'm satisfied with the answer. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Професор Птащенко Олена Михайлівна. Олена Валеріївна, перепрошую.
Good day, Ulin. Nice to meet you. I have two questions for you. My first question, who is the main body of marketing communication in Chinese university? How do they monitor of the effects of marketing communication?
Actually, I think there is no special marketing communication department in Chinese universities. Actually, the propaganda department of the party committee of Chinese universities is responsible for the brand building and marketing communication of universities. So I think the propaganda department is the main body of the marketing communication in Chinese HAZE. But in essence, the propaganda department of Chinese universities have more ideological work functions. So because another reason, just because most of China's universities are public, so their awareness of marketing communication is not very strong. Therefore, in our research, we call for establishing a special marketing communication department in Chinese universities as the university's main body of marketing communication, which is more conducive to achieve a good effect. So I think in Chinese university, they do not monitor their impact of marketing communication, and the result depends entirely on the feeling of the staff. Still, there is no evaluation system or mechanism in Chinese university. So this is also an important innovation of our study, I think. That's all my answer. Thank you, Professor.
Yes, thank you very much. It's a very good answer. And my second question, in the process of empirical research on the effects on the marketing communication, who do you choose the respondents?
Just because the audience of HAZE is widely distributed. So to ensure the reasonableness and applicability of the questionnaire. So we selected the university students, teachers in HAZE, and the parents of university students, high school students, parents of high school students, government workers, employer personnel, and some journalists. Just like I have reported in my presentation. So we conducted a test by distributing a pre-test questionnaire through the personal social network, just like this. That's my answer. That's all.
Thank you very much. It's a very good answer.
Thank you.
Olena Valerievna, are you satisfied with answers of our...
Yes, I'm satisfied.
Thank you very much. And Professor Nifatova Olena Mikhailovna, please.
Thank you. First of all, I want to admire the very good structure of presentation. I very like it. And like my colleagues, I have also two questions. The first one, please tell me what is the greatest difficulty you encounter in the process of empirical research?
Okay. Actually, in empirical research, I think the greatest difficulty, I think it is the development of the questionnaire. Because before compiling the questionnaire, we first have to determine the appropriate variables. To define these variables, we have done a lot of literature reading. After combing, it finally determines 10 variables, such as richness and credibility and interesting sharing, etc. After this, we began to develop the questionnaire, maybe around 10 variables. After designing the scale, we conducted the questionnaire pretest to ensure its effectiveness. This take up a lot of our time and energy. I think this process should be said to be a difficult point for us to study, I think. So that's all.
Yes, it is a very difficult process.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm satisfied. And the second one, please tell me, after research, what do you think is the biggest problem in the construction and management of marketing communication and Chinese case?
I think after our careful study, I think that there are some problems in the construction and management of marketing communication in Chinese case, just like, for example, lack of awareness, low-level management, the unclear market orientation, the undefined target market, disunity of expression of information, a single mode, just like this, and so on. Therefore, we believe that the biggest problem in the construction and management of marketing communication in Chinese case is the lack of strategy thinking. I think the university's manager should solve the above issue from the perspective of the strategy formulations. Based on this thinking, this opinion, our research has developed a university marketing communication model to solve the existing practical problems. So I think all of this is the biggest problem in the construction and management of marketing communication in Chinese case, just like this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm satisfied with the answer.
Thank you, Elena Mikhailovna. Thank you, Ulin, and allow me please to ask some questions to our researcher, to our PhD student. So, Ulin, tell me please, after you established the model of integrated marketing in higher education institutions, have you verified it?
Definitely, we have verified it. Just like after developing our model, we apply the model to the marketing communication practice at СНАУ and Henan Institute of Science and Technology. After a period, we found that it's just like Henan Institute of Science and Technology. After our practice it, we found that the school's ranking has improved in the relevant orders. Just like the number of candidates registered from the school has increased, and the admission score of students raised. I think this shows that our model enhances the influence of the school, and our model is effective. So just like this. Thank you.
Thank you. And the second question is, what do you think? What are the shortcomings of your research?
Okay. Thank you for Professor's question. I think although we have completed our research work, there are still some shortcomings. Such our study mainly chooses the Chinese case as the research object. Does not compare Chinese case with other countries, especially with the case in Ukraine, and does not systematically summarize their achievements and problems of his in other countries. Also, the questionnaire adopted online survey. The interviewee's attitude in filling out the questionnaire was difficult to grasp, which make our data have subjective bias. So I think in the future, we can continue to carry out relevant research and make more innovations, and we can achieve better research results in this field in the future. We will work hard. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you for your answers. I'm completely satisfied with your preparation. And in accordance to, dear colleagues, do you have any questions?
No, no.
Thank you very much. No more questions. And in accordance to procedure, I've got to acquaint the present persons with conclusion about the scientific novelty, theoretical and practical significance of result of the thesis of Ulin. It's a document about your pre-defense. So, in accordance to procedure, I will read it in Ukrainian. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Отже, колеги, висновок про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дослідження Улін-Лінь, управління системою маркетингової комунікації закладів вищої освіти у Китаї, підготовлений згідно діючих вимог, містить всі необхідні елементи, тобто в ньому відображена актуальність теми дослідження, яка не викликає жодних сумнівів. Показано, що робота виконана у відповідності з науковими програмами, планами, темами. І дисертацію виконана у відповідності до теми 0119 100 250, що цілком відповідає терміну підготовки нашого здобувача. Мета і завдання дослідження знов-таки формалізована. Визначені положення наукової новизни одержаних результатів, які представляють найбільший науковий інтерес, зокрема, це запропонований науковий підхід щодо інтеграції управління системою маркетингової комунікації у практику розвитку закладів вищої освіти з подальшим формуванням власного бренду, яке зроблено вперше. Також положення з категорії удосконалено та набуло подальшого розвитку, щодо яких ми з вами могли вже всі можливості ознайомитися. Зроблена оцінка теоретичного і практичного значення результатів дисертації, яка також є беззаперечною. Надана оцінка використання результатів роботи і апробації. Визначена особиста участь автора в одержанні наукових та практичних результатів, викладених в дисертації, дотримання здобувачем принципів академічної доброчесності, знов-таки, тобто наведена інформація щодо перевірки дисертації за допомогою комп'ютерних програм, порівняння текстових запозичень, і рівень унікальності тексту дуже великий. Далі надано перелік наукових публікацій нашого здобувача, з яким вже ми ознайомлені, в тому числі і в сьогоднішній презентації. Оцінено структуру та обсяг дисертації. Слід зазначити, що робота включає 3 розділи. Загальні висновки викладено на 170 сторінках основного тексту, 22 таблиці, 23 рисунки, 213 найменувань літературних джерел. Знов-таки надана оцінка мови та стилю дисертації, вже зауважу, що робота написана грамотно англійською мовою, і надана оцінка ступеня зрілості нашого з вами дослідника та відповідність, і зроблено загальний висновок. Вважати, що дисертаційна робота Улін-Лінь управління системою маркетингової комунікації закладів вищої освіти в Китаї подано на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії за спеціальністю 073 за своїм науковим рівнем та практичною цінністю повністю відповідає пунктам 6 постанови Кабміну щодо затвердження порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії від 12 січня 2022 року, номер 44, та вимогам до оформлення дисертації. І також у висновку рекомендовано склад разової ради для проведення захисту, власне, у складі тих осіб, які сьогодні присутні. Це щодо самого висновку по роботі, який підготовлено в організації, де виконана робота. Тепер дозвольте, згідно дискусії, продовження, так, розпочати її і будемо надавати слово спочатку рецензентам, потім опонентам. So, we begin the discussion of the dissertation work by Wulin Lin, and I'm inviting the reviewer to speak. Please, Professor Sakhain Inna Vitalyevna. Thank you.
Thank you, the head. But I have a question to you, Professor Krasnorudsky. Have I to talk deeply about my review, or maybe I can just say about the main points because the document with my review is in the set of documents?
Hopefully, it's you have to do it shortly by thesis. So the structure and the discussion questions. That's all.
Thank you. Then let me please know the main result of this dissertation thesis. And so I would like to tell the dissertation work is devoted to the deepening of knowledges about the peculiarities of the application of the marketing communication system in the strategic management of higher education institutions. There are a number of reasons that necessitate the strategic use of communications in the market activity of higher education institutions. First, the significant increase in the struggle for market share between universities whose consumers have identical needs. Secondly, the category of mass consumer audience has long been a scene of the past. Instead, there are certain social circles which determine the general attitude of society towards the higher education institution and its services by the degree of attachment to it. Thirdly, the information is a key element of the progress, the foundation of the information society, in which the civilized world is located and develops. The ability to communicate with this target audience, to establish two-way communications with them, is a manifestation of the progressively development educational institutions. That all has accorded the connection of dissertation work Wulin Lin with the scientific programs plans topic of the Department of Marketing and Logistics at SUME National Agrarian University. Wulin Lin can deeply characterize the scientific novelty of the obtained result, and I will not repeat because all of them are deeply characterized in my review of the documents. But practical significance of the result lies in the proper use of institutions of higher education and educational management bodies of various levels. The proposed practical and methodological recommendations are implemented in the activities of the SUME National Agrarian University and the Henan Institute of Science and Technology. Employees of promotion department use them to establish a system of communications with the main stakeholders. Next, very shortly, I have to note that the main result obtained personally by author. The dissertation is devoted to the study of the model of management of marketing communications of higher education institutions, which is adapted to the national condition of China. The practical implications of the Chinese university can build their own educational brand and benefit from the formulation and implementation of a marketing communication strategy. In this work, various research methods are used and the significant number of literature sources are analyzed. Realistic observation, empirical, as well as inductive and deductive research is carried out too. This study is the interdisciplinary study involving management, marketing, and other related disciplines. The main results of scientific research were published in 13 scientific articles. Between them, 3 articles in specialized publications in Ukraine, 2 articles in journal included to the scientific database Scopus and Web of Science, the rest in other journals and conferences proceedings. But I have some remarks and I would like to tell about it. The first, table 1.3 needs an explanation of the graphic elements in the last column. Second, point 2.2 would be expanded to present with the help of graphic objects, which would add a winning type of information. Third, object 2.1 and 2.5 should be transferred to point 1.3 because this is the basis of the author's methodological research. 4. Considering the information of the dissertation's conclusions, which are based on the results of surveys of communications policy experts, it would be appropriate in chapter 2 of the dissertation, not only to assess the level of consistency of the expert's opinion, but also to provide the assessment of their competence. 5. It would be appropriate to provide in the work a brief description of each variation element of the marketing communication evaluation system, the systematization of which is given in table 2.1 and further on in the next on the dissertation. 6. To manage the behavior of consumers, it is advisable for the higher educational institution to use crowd technologies, which will allow more effective management of communications with consumers of services. Therefore, I believe that in the conducted research, it would be appropriate to use a term which indicates the direction of attracting of the effect of the interaction of community. 7th, the work states that in the process of managing marketing communications in the social network, it is necessary to take into account the influence of communities and consider a new approach to manage the communications process in the network, which will be based on the relevant principles. But the author did not take into account such principles as multi-vector information and communication influence and its non-linearity. Asymmetry of information and asymmetry of information in the process of the communication space activity. But perhaps this is the future of the communications policy of the mass media in the People's Republic of China, as the author of the study recently emphasized. However, the indicated comments and wishes do not fundamentally affect the overall positive assessment of the dissertation work, and not fundamental and do not reduce it rather high overall assessment. Finally, taking about correspondence of the dissertation to the specialty and profile of the board of our scientific community, I have to determine that the dissertation work of Ulin Lin, Management of Marketing Communication System of Higher Education Institutions in China, which was submitted for defense to the Specialist Academic Council for obtaining the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 07 Management and Administration in the specialty 073 Management, according to its relevant scientific and theoretical level, the main result of validity, the main provisions and results published in professional publications, the novelty of formulation and the practical significance meet the requirement to the orders and other official document of the Ministry of Educational and Science of Ukraine and the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine for awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. So that's why, like the reviewer, I have finished my work, and my and Ulin Lin had the positive result of my reviewer. So that's why her presentation here pretend her position of dissertations. The next step, I think the Ulin Lin will answer all my questions or not. Professor Krasnorudsky.
Thank you very much.
After review, will the PhD student answer on my questions after review or not?
Certainly.
Okay.
In the procedure, you are given an opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted by reviewers' review.
Okay, I will respond to it. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'm sincerely grateful to Professor for agreeing to be a reviewer of my dissertation work. I agree with all the points made by the professor. I'm sure that they will make my further research better, I think. I would like to provide some explanation for some of them. In particular, I want to respond to remark 6. I want to note, just like crowd technologies are currently actively developing as a model for solving any kind of problems and tasks facing both business and the state and the society as a whole. Crowd technologies are a set of effective tools that allow you to use the personal resources of individuals for the development of a common cause, just like production of a product, development and implementation of a service, solving social problems, etc. I think there are the following types of crowd technologies, just like crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, crowd working, crowdfunding and crowd marketing. Crowd technologies, in particular crowdsourcing, can be successfully used in innovative management of a higher education institution, I think. I fully agree with the rest of the remarks and will use them in my further scientific work. Thank you very, very much, dear professor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you, Inna Vitalyevna. Are you satisfied with comments of Ulin Lin?
Of course. Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me invite reviewer Mikhail Lienko, professor.
Thank you for opportunity to be a review of dissertation work of Yu Lin on the topic management of a market and communication system of higher education institution in China. A full version of my review can be found on university website, and I say some words about main points of dissertation work and discussion moments as for me on the dissertation work. The relevance of a study by Yu Lin is due to the need to apply modern principles, tools, and methods of marketing in the activities of various socioeconomic systems. About communication with scientific program plans and topics. The dissertation work was carried out in accordance with the research plan of Sumy National Agrarian University and some research project in China. About scientific statements, conclusion and recommendation. Scientific proposition, conclusion, and recommendation presents in the dissertation work are sufficiently sustainable, have a scientific content, and significant for marketing and management. The goal corresponds to the topic of research. The object and subject of research meet the scientific and methodological requirements. About structure of dissertation works. The dissertation is a complete scientific work. The manuscript contains a complete complex of structure elements corresponding to the established requirements: abstract, introduction, free section, conclusion, list of used sources. Some words about publication. Scientific research. Scientific novelty of dissertation work were published in 13 scientific works, including 2 articles in scientific publication, including in Scopus and Web of Science. The number of publication is sufficient for presenting the dissertation for defense. About scientific novelty. As for us, the most important scientific novelty, for the first time, a scientific approach of integrating the management of market and communication system into the practical of development of higher education institution with formation of its own brand is proposed. Improved the concept of building a brand of higher education institution based on the formatting of their image and increasing competitiveness, which is based on integrated marketing communication and involves the integration of communication content of brand images, the communication channel and the communicational process. Receive development certificate regulation for the formation of an effective system of marketing communication, which take into account information flows, regional futures, and provide system analysis and control of interaction with the main stakeholders. And some words about discussion moments, because all dissertation work have such moments. First, the issue of financial innovation approach to the development of marketing communication by the institution of higher education was left out of after attention, taking into account what interaction with information sources such as mass media requires the involvement of financial resources. It will be necessary to get acquaintment with a structure of cost for marketing activities in more details, and to find out what specific weight of the total cost of the higher education institution is occupied by the cost of marketing communication. Second, when formulation a recommendation on improving the company's communication policy regarding the selection as a vector in the process of forming and implementing a management model for the marketing communication system of a higher education institution, it would be advisable to take into account the impact of risk what the university may face in the market of education service. In the participant of international education activities. Third, with the aim of international adoption of positive experience in the field of management of education institution, in point 2, it was expanded to conduct a comparative analysis of extending marketing communication system in higher education institution of Ukraine and Republic of China. Fourth, in point 3 of a dissertation, the author notes what in view of a formulation of a strategy of marketing communication of China Institution of Higher Education, the main principle what management should adhere to during the implementation of innovation in the current marketing communication have been developed, but more attention should be paid to the development of a ways of improvement distribution of function between different levels of management. And additionally, it's not clear which management unit in the university is responsible for implementation of a communication strategy. And 5, from the text of a dissertation, it's not clear how exactly the management function of planning implement in the management of a marketing communication system of higher education institution in China. It would be appropriate to give more details about the availability of current tactical and strategical plans. How are we allied with the university financial plans, for example? But with discussion moments do not reduce the overall positive impression of a dissertation work. And a general conclusion, what the dissertation work on the topic management of a marketing communication system of higher education institution is in China is an independent and complete work, has a scientific novelty and practical significance. The content of dissertation fully corresponds to the defense purpose. The tasks were solved using the method and of scientific research. The scientific novelty of a dissertation according to the results of an analysis of a content of a work and the present scientific work as a recent conclusion really belong to the author. And as say Professor in Sakhan, I have positive results of my review and general conclusion. What offer of dissertation you Lin deserve to be awarded with scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy on specialty 0773 Management, field of knowledge 07 Management and Administration. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Ulin. You can respond to comments that have been posted in the reviewer's review of Professor Ian.
Okay. I sincerely thank Professor for agreeing to be the reviewer of my dissertation. I agree with all the points put forward by the professor. I believe that these suggestions and opinions will guide me to carry out my further research work. Now I would like to explain some of these problems. I would like to respond to remark 1 raised by the professor. In China, I think the vast majority of his public universities and their funding mainly comes from state and government financial allocations, followed by tuition, social and individual donations, and so on. With an increasingly fierce competition among Hayes in China, a good reputation and brand can win more social or personal sponsorship for Hayes, which has become a meaningful way to promote the development of Hayes. And secondly, the proportion of marketing communication expenses in the total cost of Hayes can achieve the highest economic efficiency, which should be studied in depth, I think. It is the economic basis to maximize the effect of marketing communication in Hayes, and I think it is my further research direction. Thank you very much for Professor's guidance. In response remark 2 raised by the professor, I would like to explain as follows reason. Just like the professor said, if an organization wants to maximize management effectiveness, the distribution and cooperation of functions among various management levels are significantly. We mentioned this issue in our paper, but we didn't discuss it in detail, I think. So I think this is what I will continue to strengthen in my further research. Lastly, I fully agree with the rest of the comments, and I will use them in my further scientific work. Thank you very much, dear professor. That's all my response.
Thank you, Ulin.
Okay, thank you for the answer. I satisfied with the answer. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, and I invite him to speak official opponent, Professor Plashchenko Elena Valerievna.
Good day, my dear colleague. I am sincerely grateful for the invitation and the opportunity to present such an important work. You have a full my review, and I will report only short moments in this review. For the dissertation work of Ulin Lin on the topic Management of Marketing Communication System of Higher Education Institution in China. Today, it's a modern competition marketing and marketing communication system of the own organization is characteristic by a wide range of marketing tools, with include direct marketing, advertising, reposable series, sales promotion, public relations, and the last marketing tools, which are gradually becoming the main agency of marketing activity. The structure of the dissertation is logical. Each of the sections accompanied in the accompanying conclusions. The methods based for evolution of the elevationness of marketing communication management is substantiated the state and dynamic of the development of marketing communication system of Chinese university are analyzed. Dissertation work in Lin is a very innovative study with a high scientific level, the study of new problems of economic science and practical in the first marketing of higher education institutes. It's necessary to note the structure of the work, the requires and argumentation of the provision of the dissertation. It's in the first part, the conceptual and categorical apparatus of the dissertation work investigate current research situation, theoretical fundamentation, and research methods and analysis, and the scope direction in this research are determined. The second part analyzes the current situation of management communication system in Chinese higher education institutes. The third part is developed on the construction on the management model on the marketing communication system of Chinese higher education institutes. Formulation with the current of the dissertation method is possible to single out the elements of the scientific knowledge or provisions on this dissertation formulation, but the author another with the following on the greatest scientific interest. The author's approach to the concept of building the brand of the higher education institutes in image formation and increasing competitiveness had the interest integrated marketing communication has been development involves the integration of communication concept on the brand image and communication channel and communication process. The main theoretical proposition of the conclusions on the dissertation work were published in the 13 scientific works. Discussion moments. First, consider the main definition regarding the definition of the concept of the integrated marketing communications. The author ignored the research on Ukrainian scientific. In addition, would the expected not only provide chronological on the main definition, but also identify a group main ideas they were learned down during the formation of the specified interpretation. Second, considering the current trends of the development of marketing communication in paragraph 1.2, the author analyzed a great extent the situation taking place in China. We believe that the detailed study on this phenomenon on the leading countries of the world allow on the developed-based improvement-based foreign experience. Thirdly, paragraph 2.1 would have a much more established presentation if part the information was present, not only a description, but with the summary from tablets and the graphical interpretation of trends, the structures, the form graphs and charts. Thirdly, page 162 of the dissertation, the author notes the main reason for the insuficient use of potential new media, said state shortage of socially qualified person. Perhaps it would be expedient for the universities to independently organize training, special courses, aids to solve the specified problems. Fifth, page 164, the after justifiable gelations about the brand of the higher education institutes of the reputation. In my opinion, I would be expedient to conduct the service education seekers and the various stakeholders group of the individual higher education institution. If for the final match the version on the brand, particularly university correspondence to the reputation on the marketing of education service. Discussion provisions do not affect the higher evaluate Wu-Lin dissertation research, do not reduce its scientific and practical value. The topic of the dissertation is relevant in the structure and the will thought out, and the material it's present logically. And the dissertation is right in English and prepared to coordinate with the current provision of forms and rules established by Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine. The dissertation, Management and Marketing Communication System of Higher Education Institute of China, fully complete with the relevance of the order of the Ministry of Education of Science of Economics number 40 of 2017, resolution of Cabinet Minister of Ukraine number 44 of 2022. The author of dissertation willingly divorces the awards the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy, its specialty 73 management.
Thank you, Elena Valerievna. You can answer you can give your comments to comments of official opponent is posted in opponent's review.
Okay. Firstly, I sincerely thank Professor for agreeing to act as an opponent of my thesis work. I agree with all the opinions made by the professor. I also believe that these opinions will help me to do my research further. I would like to provide some explanation on some of them. In response to the remark 1 and remark 2 raised by the professor, I would like to make the following responses. For the concept of integrated marketing communication, I just divided it into maybe three main research areas: the United States, the Europe, and Asia. I think the United States is the origin of the concept, and the Europe has made in-depth research on marketing communication theory. In addition, Asia has a more unique perspective on the understanding of marketing communication. However, due to the language constraints, I think Ukrainian literature in my research is less involved. This is also my further research direction, I think. Regarding remark 3 raised by the professor, I would like to point out in particular that, just like professor said, tables and graphs are the most effective way to show research results. Each table and graph, I think, can convey a clear message, can make the research results more readable and more straightforward. In the paragraph 2.1 of my presentation, actually, I initially added some tables and graphs to show, but just because of the limited space of the presentation, I finally deleted it. So these things I will pay more attention to these problems, I think, in the future. Finally, I fully agree with the professor's comments, and I will use them in my subsequent research work. Thank you very much, dear professor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ulin Lin. Alena Valeryevna, are you satisfied with comments of Ulin Lin?
Yes, I am satisfied.
Thank you very much. And I'm inviting Professor Nifatova, official opponent, to speak.
Thank you. First of all, let me thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to participate in the discussion of an actual scientific problem. The official review of the dissertation has been provided on time. It has been collocated on the website of the Sumy National Agrarian University. And now, please let me introduce just the highlights. The topic of the dissertation is relevant because today marketing communications of the university are becoming a tool of influence on the formation of competitive advantages in the market of educational services. The relevance of the topic is confirmed by the connection of the study with the plan of research blocks of the Department of Marketing and Logistics of the Sumy National Agrarian University. It also should be noted that part of the research was implemented as a part of scientific project commissioned by the Henan Province Social Science Planning Project. The scientific reasoning, conclusions, and recommendations are presented at the high level. The reliability of the obtained scientific results is based on an analysis of the current legal framework, Ukraine and China as well. That means the involvement of program documents, materials of state statistical department, annual accounting and financial reports, data from other public reporting, voice of various groups of stakeholders and consumers. There is no doubt about the scientific novelty of the obtained results and their applied significance. The conclusions and proposals made by the author are logical and reasoned. They close the gap and form the basis for scientific discussion in the field of marketing communication system management in universities. The content, structure, and design, the dissertation certainly corresponded to requirements of the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine. The most important new ideas. The author proposed a scientific approach to the integration of marketing communication system into the activities of Chinese university with formation of their own brand gradually. They also developed a methodical approach to mapping the literature on integrated marketing communications based on the site space using. They also developed a scientific and methodological approach to the analysis of the category management of the marketing communication systems, practical application and implementation. The proposed practical and methodical recommendations are implemented in the activities of the Sumy National Agrarian University and the Henan Institute of Science and Technology. Employees of the promotion departments of the specified institution use them to establish the system of communications with the main stakeholders. The main results of the dissertation were published in certain scientific works. There are 3 publications in specialized Ukrainian journals, 2 publications in journal cited by Scopus and Web of Science. The rest of the publications are other publications and materials of scientific conferences. And finally, I would like to raise the issue of the scientific discussion. The first one. On page 37 of the dissertation, the author presents the 4P model, commonly known as the marketing complex. For our opinion, the author could be research other models, for example, 7P. Also, the scientific discussion is aimed at the need of the adapt this model to the educational field. Second one. In paragraph 2.1, the author should have paid more attention to the analysis of Chinese legislation, especially regarding the activities of the Google network and such social media as Facebook and Instagram. Accordingly, this study would help to understand the perspectives and develop ways of integration into the international educational environment. Next one. If the author discovered practical approaches to evaluating the effectiveness of marketing communication in the world's leading institution of higher education, it would be adding power to the dissertation. The implementation of foreign experience, including Ukrainian experience, would lead to the adaptation of the domestic model to current trends in the world markets of educational services. The next one. On the page 130 are presented the further development ways of the marketing communication strategy for Chinese institution of higher education. This research is quite original and has a practical orientation. However, in our opinion, such an interpretation is not quite complete without taking into a number of special functions of management, such as planning and control. The next one, chapter 3, paragraph 3.3, should be added with recommendations on the implementation of communication strategy to improve competitive positions based on the comparative analysis with the leading university on other countries. Also taking into that the defense of the dissertation is carried out in Ukraine, it would be appropriate to find out how the marketing communication system is managed in Ukrainian universities. And finally, the last one, the author pays more attention to social networks and gives secondary role to direct advertising and public relations. However, exciting research shows that these tools of marketing communication have a significant effect in interaction with other groups of stakeholders. Scientific discussion does not reduce the overall positive evaluation of the work. The expressed wishes are debatable and are aimed at anticipating future scientific research into the specified scientific problem. And the general conclusion, the dissertation work of Ulin Lin on the topic management of the marketing communication system of higher education institution in China was written in accordance with the current requirements, contains theoretical, methodological, and practical developments. The dissertation is written in English and prepared in accordance with the current norms and rules established by the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine. The content of the dissertation corresponds to the research topic and specialty management. Therefore, the dissertation work management of the marketing communication system of higher education institution in China meets all the established requirements, and the author of the dissertation, Ulin Lin, deserves to award the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Specialty Management. Thank you for your attention. That's all.
Thank you very much, Elena Mikhailina. Yulian Lin, you are given the opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in opponent's review.
Okay. Firstly, I sincerely thank Professor for agreeing to act as an opponent of my dissertation work. Thank you very much. I totally agree with the comments made by the professor. I believe that these comments will make my dissertation or maybe my research better in future, I think. Now I would like to provide some explanations for some of them. I would like to respond to remark 2 raised by the professor. Just like the professor said, new media such as Google Network, Facebook, and Instagram are currently the most widely used in worldwide. They are practical tools for Hayes to compete in the international market. But currently, citizens are unable to browse the Google, maybe the Facebook and in China. So Chinese universities use local new media platforms such as WeChat, Weibo, microblog, TikTok, and so on. So that makes Chinese universities I think lose relatively more important positions when participating in international competitions. I think it is also a factor that Chinese scholars should consider in the future when they carry out to improve their competition in the global education market in their higher education. In response to remark 5 raised by a professor, I would like to point out in particular, after developing our model, we apply the model to the practice at СНАУ and Henan Institute of Science and Technology. Because the model validation needs to take a long time, so we're still tracking the model data in the process of preparing the defense. Just like the professor said, we will carry out comparative research in the future research to improve our research results. In conclusion, I totally agree with the rest of the professor's comments, and I will use them in my further scientific work. Thank you very much again, dear professor. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want. Yes.
Elena Mikhailina, are you satisfied with the answer for Yulian?
Yes.
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
I am.
According to the rules of work in specialized academic council, we proceed to discussion of the thesis of Yulian Li. I emphasize that all present members of academic councils, so 5 persons, have the right to take part in the discussion. Therefore, I am asking those who want to speak about this work.
Let me start.
Okay, Professor Sakhan, please.
Thank you, Professor Krasnorudsky. And finally, I am so pleased to tell some positive words about Yulian Li and her dissertation work. And I would like to begin from the actuality that I didn't say before. So improving the efficiency on the educational sector today requires the implementation of responsibility for the results of its activities, flexibility, entrepreneurship, and adaptability of educational institution in relation to changing conditions for the labor market. Competitiveness and other, more importantly, all require strategic planning, a clear definition of the order of action that would ensure the sustainable development of educational institutions. Solving these and many other problems of the development of educational institutions is impossible without expanding their independence, creating a legislative basis for attracting additional financial resources, without actively applying in the practical activities such innovation management and marketing. Some remarks in design of research were described in my review, and Ulin Lin had fundamentally grounded all points of them. Her work is fully considered to all official requirements according to the procedure of Doctor of Philosophy Award. So I will vote positive and promote all the members of scientific community to do the same. I am satisfied with the procedure of degree and think that Ulin Lin is absolutely can be awarded by this title like the Doctor of Philosophy.
Thank you, Natalia. Who wants to speak more? Anyone? Colleagues, we have to tell something about the dissertation of Wu Lin Lin over the measures of your review. Okay? So, Professor Птащенко, Олена Валерьевна, please.
Thank you. The research of Ulin Lin on the topic management of the marketing and communication system of higher education institutes in China is relevant in the requirement of the time. Thereafter, monitoring the university marketing communication system and the steadily way improved the marketing communication system based on the with she developed an algorithm for building effective marketing communication system of the Chinese university. In addition, marketing communication strategy for Chinese institution of higher education were developed. It deserved special attention, in particular for the work examines the concept and the typing of marketing communication as the objective management and management system, focuses attention of the definition and the development of the process of integrated marketing communication, organized and management mechanism for optimizing the management of the current system of marketing communications of Chinese university, proposed to help them improve the effects of marketing communication. All this make it possible to recommend Ulin Lin for the awards on the Doctor of Philosophy degree and specialty 73 management.
Thank you very much, Elena Valeryevna. Please, Professor Gienko.
Okay, thank you for opportunity to participate in the discussion. As I say, the topic is relevant, which was discussed by both reviews and opponents. The present presentation answer to questions and comments of a review testify to the highest scientific level and practical significance of scientific research. About discussion points, I said in my review, but they are not reduce the overall positive assessment of a dissertation work. In general, the work corresponds to the specialty 073 management, field of knowledge 07 management and administration. I will support the dissertation work and vote for the awards of the scientific degree Doctor of Philosophy to Ulin Lin. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Professor Nefatova.
Dear colleagues, I also want to say positive comments about this dissertation. And I want to admire, as for me, the main advantage of the work. Sorry, it's something. The main advantage of the work is that for me, this dissertation looks like bilateral benchmarking for Ukrainian and Chinese universities. Today, we know that China starts to apply the model of entrepreneurial universities. Therefore, the proposed concept of building a brand of higher education institution is useful and important in the work. This aspect obviously will help in creating the image and competitive increasing for the Chinese university. Also, as for me, it is a very interesting is the hypothesis testing procedure for identifying the information impact of the university's target audience. The testing model of this study was decomposed into 4 sub-models, which are the effect of each variable on cognition, emotion, and intention about his. The work encourages scientific discussion and opens up perspectives for also future research. For example, it creates the need for future thinking of the concept for peer marketing applied to the field of educational services. And in general, I want to admire the dissertation is written at an appropriate scientific level, has elements of scientific novelty, practical applications, and revolves important aspects devoted to the management by marketing system of communication at universities. It will contribute to a better understanding, evaluation, and analysis of the communication activities at the Chinese universities. Therefore, I think the author of this dissertation deserves to be awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the specialty of management. So I will avoid positive. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena Mikhailivna. Let me say a couple of words about our report and about its dissertation. Actually, scientific results presented in dissertation of Ulin Lin significantly enrich scientific knowledge in the field of management of marketing communication of higher education institutions. And dissertation contains specific novelty and are characterized by practical significance. The author, actually, Ulin Lin, demonstrated herself as an experienced researcher of complex scientific issues. The depth and degree of systematicity of the analytical part of research and the logical sequence of the obtained theoretical results deserve special attention. Regarding to the wishes to our author, it should be pointed out that it was necessary to approach the classification of higher education institutions according to the intensity and orientation of marketing communication activities more carefully. It would also be appropriate to pay attention to the differentiation of strategies of marketing communications activity of higher educational institutions of China. In general, I think the dissertations made in accordance to current requirements, and Ulin Lin deserves to be awarded the PhD degree in management. Thank you very much. Does anyone else want to speak? Hopefully, scientific advisor, he have this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Professor Krasnorudsky. I haven't a report, and my English language is not perfect, but I must say some words about about today's event. First of all, I want to say thank you for all members of Scientific Council for your decision about this dissertation. I think that it's really good work, and during the research we got Ulin and me, because I am scientific supervisor, we got a good result. I want to say that it's first thesis defense in English language in new rules of Ministry and Agency of Quality of Education. And I think that that other councils will use this defense as example, and we understand that it's very important for our university and for our team, for our university team. Ulin is a really good PhD student. I want to say that it was really good for good cooperation, because when we talk about the PhD students, we understand that student is good in education, in study, but I want to say that Ulin is good person, really good person. She came to the Ukraine in the autumn 2021, and she was in Ukraine when the war began, and she could see all situation, and she at that time she helped professors of university to evacuate other Chinese students and PhD students from university from Sumy region in that terrible time. And I want to say thank you, Lilin, for this help. I hope that we will have cooperation in future. I think that after today event, after defense, we will have we will write together scientific article in future, and will be this friendship between Ukraine and China, between our universities, because Henan Institute of Science and Education is a really good partner for us during this 5 years. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. Thank you very much, Ulin Lin. I'm happy to be today at this defense. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuri Ivanovich. Actually, if there are no objections, I suggest to finish the discussion. No objections? No. Okay. Ulin Lin, the procedure is almost complete, but now we will speak Ukrainian in accordance to rules. Okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely okay.
Олексій Олександрович, у вас звук вимкнений. Ми вас не почули.
Дякую, перепрошую. Отже, нами попередньо було розроблено проєкт рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради. Дозвольте його ознайомити присутніх з ним. Отже, спеціалізована вчена рада Сумського національного аграрного університету Міністерства освіти і науки України в місті Суми прийняла рішення про присудження ступеня доктора філософії в галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування на підставі прилюдного захисту дисертації управління системи маркетингової комунікації закладів вищої освіти в Китаї за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент, підготовленою у Лінь-Лінь. У Лінь-Лінь 1980 року народження, громадянська Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища, закінчила у 2017 році Хананський педагогічний університет Китайської Народної Республіки за спеціальністю філософія науки і техніки. Аспірантуру закінчила у 2022 році в Сумському національному аграрному університеті Міністерства освіти і науки міста Суми. Дисертація виконана у Сумському національному аграрному університету Міністерства освіти і науки міста Суми. Науковий керівник Данько Юрій Іванович, доктор економічних наук, професор, проректор з наукової та міжнародної діяльності Сумського національного аграрного університету. Здобувач має 13 наукових праць за темою дисертації, з них 5 статей у фахових виданнях України, в тому числі 2 статті у виданнях, які включені до міжнародних наукометричних баз даних Scopus або Web of Science. 8 публікацій в інших виданнях. Переходимо, з вашого дозволу, до процедури відкритого голосування щодо присудження ступеня доктора філософії у Лінь-Лінь. Дивіться, ми з вами маємо на фонограму на усю проговорити просто-напросто. Тобто я голосую за присудження наукового ступеня у Лінь-Лінь, або я голосую проти і так далі. Отже, з вашого дозволу з себе почну. Я голосую за присудження наукового ступеня доктора філософії, здобувачці, аспірантці у Лінь-Лінь. Будь ласка, професор Птащенко.
Не чутно.
Вибачаюсь. Я голосую за присудження наукового ступеня доктора філософії зі спеціальності 073 менеджмент у Лінь-Лінь.
Дякую. Професор Ніфатова.
Я приєднуюсь, я також голосую за присудження наукового ступеню доктора філософії у Лінь-Лінь. Дякую.
Дякую. Професор Сахань.
Я голосую за присудження наукового ступеня доктора філософії за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент аспірантів у Лінь-Лінь.
Дякую. І професор Гієнко.
Я голосую за присудження наукового ступеня доктора філософії за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент у Лінь-Лінь.
Дякую, колеги. Отже, голосів проти немає, і ми одноголосно проголосували за присудження наукового ступеня доктора філософії в галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент нашій здобувачці у Лінь-Лінь. Чи є зауваження щодо рішення вченої ради?
Немає.
Ні, немає. Погоджуємось.
Дякую. Тоді дозвольте привітати у Лінь-Лінь з успішним захистом, з присудженням ступеня доктора філософії і з тим, що, можливо, вона нам ще скаже пару слов згідно, оскільки процедура, яка застосовується в СНАУ, вона це допускає. So, у Лінь-Лінь, now we work about your awardness of PhD degree. So let me congratulate you with this achievement. So now you are PhD.
Oh my God, thank you very much.
You're doctor of philosophy. Hopefully you have to tell us a couple of words.
I'm so excited. I'm sincerely thank you for your all your professors, and thank you for your give me some guidance and help me to get this diploma. And in this difficult situation, I thank you, my dear supervisor. If I have your selfless help and guidance, I think I cannot get this important diploma in my life. I think it is important moment for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Лін. Thank you, colleagues. Отже, на цьому всім дякую за роботу і засідання спеціалізованої вченої ради можемо вважати закритим. Дякую всім, бережіть себе. Все буде добре.
Дякуємо.
Дякуємо.
Юрій Іванович, вітання.
Дякую, Андрій Васильович. Дякую.
Радий бачити дуже суперкласний захист.